legal gun owners in the form of an annual fee and a requirement that they buy liability insurance. San Jose's mayor introduced this proposal more than 2 years ago, and tomorrow the city council will take its final vote. Let's welcome Mayor Sam Liccardo back to Mornings on 2 to talk about this and more. Thanks for joining us, Mayor.
Great to be with you.
Good to have you. The National Foundation for Gun Rights says, see you in court. How confident are you that this proposal will actually pass and then actually be enacted?
Well, I'm confident. You know, the Second Amendment certainly protects the right of every American to own a gun, but it doesn't require taxpayers to subsidize that right. And right now, our taxpayers here in San Jose and throughout the country are paying tens of millions of dollars here locally and billions of dollars throughout the state of California to subsidize the right of folks to own guns, because we know that when violence occurs, when suicide happens with a gun, there has to be a public response. And that costs an enormous amount in terms of fire, medical response, and police.
But what about the criticism that your proposal makes good guys, responsible gun owners, pay for the actions of illegal gun owners, people who use ghost guns or stolen guns? They won't see any effect.
Yeah, I think there's two really important components here. First, we know that regardless of anyone's intent, insurance can make us all behave more safely. As we see, for example, we require all drivers to have insurance. That helps to compensate those who are injured by those who get engaged in accidents of various kinds. Similarly, with guns, we have 4.5 million children in this country who live in homes where guns are kept loaded and unlocked. That is a critical risk. And we know that insurance today is widely available for homeowners and renters that can encourage folks to buy gun safes, to take gun safety classes, to get trigger locks, do the things that can make us all safer. Secondly, part of the provision is we know that is really enabling officers to have the ability to distinguish between those lawful gun owners, those who follow the rules, and those who don't. And those who don't have insurance and don't pay the fee when they're asked whether or not they have that evidence, will then be subject to fines and potentially forfeiture of the gun.
And I know your police chief has said that his officers won't go searching for such incidents, but if they come upon them, that they'll do what the proposal asks. Let's move quickly to hear vaccines. Just reported that 61% of VTA workers are fully vaccinated. Under the current vaccine mandate, without a medical exemption, they could eventually lose their jobs. Your city, San Jose, considering making boosters now a condition of employment. Is there any concern these strict vaccine mandates will deplete essential service sectors that are already struggling?
Well, we've already passed the requirement. So our employees know they have to get boosters. And the good news is our employees have really stepped up. Our workforce really gets it. More than 96% are fully vaccinated. And we're rapidly reaching that rate for boosters as well. And those who aren't overwhelmingly have a religious exemption. So I think we're going to be fine. We've gone through this before. We know how to implement this. And most importantly, our employees get it.
And do you support termination of employment for those who won't get boosted?
Yes.
Okay, let's move quickly here to a report that we had last week. I'm still thinking about this. A woman in San Jose was attacked by a homeless man who came out of his tent. She was walking on the Guadalupe River Park Trail. She likened the situation of homeless encampments in San Jose to a frog in a pot of boiling water, saying the water's been heating up steadily over the past couple of years. Now San Jose is in a situation it would have never tolerated in the past. Does that assessment, Mayor, ring true to you? And what do you make of the situation?
There's no question through this pandemic we've had to grapple with a much harder reality, and most importantly, our in-house have had to grapple with this reality as well. You know, for a significant amount of time, public health authorities were telling cities throughout the state and throughout the country that we could not clear encampments. And as a result, you had this growth of encampments throughout cities throughout the West. We're now taking greater measures. I think there's a recognition that a rigid adherence to that kind of rule doesn't work. And most importantly, we're accelerating our rehousing of those individuals in the encampments.
So it sounds like you're promising more encampments will be cleared?
Absolutely, yes. Particularly where they're in areas that aren't safe, near schools, near public roadways where we know there's safety issues. And importantly, we're accelerating our rehousing.
All right, San Jose Mayor Sam Liccardo, our time is short. We'll have to leave it here. Thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you.